What happens when one of the world's most powerful nations invests heavily in nuclear energy across the African continent? Russia is spearheading nuclear power projects in Burkina Faso, Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa, and these deals could reshape Africa's geopolitical and energy landscape forever. Stay tuned as we unpack this fascinating story, one that could change global dynamics. Before we dive into today's mind-blowing episode, if you're new to Mwaki Insights, smash that subscribe button and join us for all things geopolitics and global development. Your support keeps this conversation going. Let's start with the why behind Russia's move into Africa. For Moscow, the global race to secure energy dominance is crucial. While the West and China have historically been Africa's biggest energy partners, Russia is swiftly catching up. Through its state nuclear agency, Rosatom Russia is entering high-profile nuclear deals in Africa, particularly in Burkina Faso, Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa. These deals are not just about energy, they're about geopolitics, soft power, and creating a multipolar world where Russia has a strong foothold in the global south. Rosatom's approach? Energy diplomacy. This means offering attractive financing, technology transfers, and long-term partnerships that lock these countries into agreements, which enhances Russia's influence. Burkina Faso, historically known for its reliance on agriculture and gold mining, may not be the first place you think of when it comes to nuclear power. But that's about to change. The Burkinabe government, struggling with frequent power outages and energy poverty, is turning to Russia to build its first nuclear power plant. Nuclear energy could solve their electricity shortfall, power industrial projects, and reduce reliance on imported fossil fuels. This deal will also boost job creation and foster local expertise in nuclear technology, two critical areas for development. Yet, there are concerns about political instability and the capacity to manage such a complex, sensitive technology. Rosatom plans to support both the construction and operational phases, helping to mitigate these risks. But this move is not just about electricity, it's a geopolitical statement. Burkina Faso is signaling a break from Western influence, especially after the country's military-led transition and strained relations with France. Next up, we have Egypt, one of Africa's most industrialized nations. Egypt's government under President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is aiming to diversify its energy portfolio, reduce its carbon footprint, and ensure long-term energy security. Enter the El-Dabaa nuclear project, a massive $30 billion project in partnership with Rosatom. With construction already underway, this plant is set to generate 4.8 gigawatts of electricity, enough to power millions of homes. For Egypt, this deal represents much more than energy. It strengthens geopolitical ties with Russia, while reducing dependence on energy imports. With the Suez Canal already a critical artery for global trade, Egypt's nuclear ambitions will solidify its position as an energy powerhouse in North Africa. But there's more to this story. Russia's involvement gives them leverage in Egyptian geopolitics, including in regional conflicts like Libya and relations with Israel. Now Nigeria, a country famous for its oil exports, might seem like an odd candidate for nuclear power, right? Well, not so fast. Despite being Africa's largest oil producer, Nigeria faces severe power shortages. Only 45% of Nigerians have reliable access to electricity, which, really cripples industrial growth and development. Nigeria's deal with Rosatom involves the construction of 2 nuclear power plants, with potential sites in Kogi State and Akwa Ibom. Nuclear power is seen as the long-term solution to Nigeria's energy crisis, providing consistent electricity to support industrialization. What's even more interesting is how Nigeria's embrace of nuclear energy could shift global oil markets. By relying more on nuclear power for domestic energy, Nigeria can export more oil, which could influence global oil prices. This aligns with Russia's broader strategy of energy diversification in Africa, reducing the continent's dependency on Western-backed energy projects. Finally, let's head to South Africa, the only African country with an operational nuclear plant, Coburg. South Africa has long relied on its coal reserves for energy, but is committed to reducing its carbon emissions as part of global climate accords. Russia's Rosatom has proposed expanding South Africa's nuclear capacity, with plans for a series of new reactors to help South Africa meet its energy needs while cutting down on coal use. This isn't just about energy. South Africa, as a member of BRICS, is a critical partner for Russia's global ambitions, A closer partnership between these two BRICS nations through nuclear energy projects could cement their influence in the global south and the future of global energy markets. But is this partnership all sunshine and rainbows? Not quite. South Africa's nuclear sector has been mired in controversy. Cost overruns, corruption allegations, and environmental concerns have plagued nuclear energy projects in the past. Can Rosatom help turn things around? So what's the broader geopolitical impact of these deals? By partnering with African nations, Russia is challenging Western dominance on the continent. Through BRICS and direct bilateral agreements, Moscow is positioning itself as a key player in Africa's energy future. These nuclear deals also align with Africa's broader de-dollarization efforts. As African nations pivot toward new economic alliances, Russia offers an alternative model, one that's less tied to Western financial systems. The implications here are huge. A shift away from Western aid and influence could lead to greater autonomy for African nations in both energy policy and governance. At the end of the day, Russia's nuclear investments in Africa are about more than just kilowatts and reactors. This is a strategic move aimed at reshaping the global power balance. As African nations like Burkina Faso, Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa embrace nuclear energy, they're forging deeper ties with Russia and moving away from the traditional influence of the West. For Russia, this is about solidifying its place in a multipolar world, one where no single power dominates, but rather, different nations cooperate based on shared interests. And for Africa, these projects signal a new chapter in the continent's development, with nuclear power leading the way. Wow. This has been a fascinating look into how nuclear power could redefine Africa's energy future and shift global geopolitics. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to Mwaki Insights for more deep dives into the most important geopolitical stories shaping our world. Also, what are your thoughts on Russia's nuclear push in Africa? Is this the beginning of a new energy era for the continent? Let us know in the comments below and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching and see you next time.